Going on, guys? Welcome, Rabid here, and in my hands I have a package from, I don't know if you can guess who, but this is from Power Mining. So Power Mining recently had a giveaway and Techman won the BitAxe Ultra Plus Plus. I believe that's what it was. So congratulations to Techman for winning that. That's awesome. Now, I started recording this video earlier, and that's what I thought was in this box. This box is a couple months old. I've been sick, and I'm trying to catch up on some videos, so I apologize to everybody for the lack of videos lately. But yeah, we have something in this box. It is not a BitAxe Ultra, which I thought it was originally when I was talking to them. I think that might be coming later. I don't really know. But I do want to point out, whatever's in this box, they did send to me. So let's check it out. So inside of the box, we have another box, but this is a much cooler box as it says BitAxe and some nice cool letters. I'm not sure what font that is, but it's a pretty sweet font. All right, so here we have the BitAxe 601, which I also believe is also called the BitAxe Gamma. The power supply says BitAxe on it. Nice, really good packaging here. Powermining.io is on the top here. And obviously, I will have links down in the description if you're looking for any type of miners from Power Mining. The BitAxe Ultra Plus Plus seems to be a very popular one. The Gammas are popular. All the solo Bitcoin miners and everything else that they do have there. So links down in the description to Power Mining. So I pulled the power supply and the BitAxe out, and I seen something hiding in the bottom of this box. Now, I can't really get it with one hand. Oh, maybe I can. See if I can figure this out. But there's something down there, and I need to get it, like, now. Come on. Oh, we're getting progress. And what is that? What do we got here? Oh, is that a stand? That's a stand. Okay, that's pretty sweet. There's actually a stand there. I thought, this would just stand up by itself like this. So that means we have oh yeah, and there's a slot. So sweet, this actually has a full-fledged stand you don't have to worry about. I thought I just have to, prop it up like that, you'd be good to go. But it does have it. All right, so there it is on the stand. That's actually pretty nice. I like that. It's pretty slick, nice design there. And again, obviously, their own branding on there. We can see BitAxe 601 solo Bitcoin miner. Now my other ones, like a lot of them don't come with any type of stands or anything. There are some that are 3D printed. Others just have nothing. It's just the board and cooler, and that is it. And I have them just laying on the ground or something. All right, so I will set this up here in a minute. I've done it multiple times in the past. It is a pretty simple process here, but let's take a minute to talk about what exactly this is, as well as the other BitAxes and BitAxes and Lucky Miners and all those other small miners out there. What is a Bitcoin solo lottery miner? And essentially it comes down to something that is not making very much noise. It's not taking up any room. It's not using very much power, but it's mining Bitcoin. You can mine other coins like Bitcoin Cash and stuff, anything on the SHA-256 algorithm, but it's not using any power. You just throw it in solo mode, and then hopefully you hit a block, essentially. You can mine to the pool like a normal miner, but you're not going to make anything, like 1 cent a day, depending on the coin if you're lucky. But, coming into here, solo mining, it's a lottery. Some people spend like $20 per week on the normal lottery, and that's for one draw a week. So that's like $80 a month, or over $800 in a year, where essentially this thing is a lottery draw every 10 minutes. So that's kind of what this here. No power. You don't really have to worry about the power consumption unless you start getting like 1,000 of these things lined up. Then you're definitely going to have a power bill to worry about. But just one or two of these by themselves, it's not going to break your bank. It's not going to make you go bankrupt in power costs. And you have a chance of actually hitting that Bitcoin block, which technically right now is around a little over $330,000 or something. So that's pretty insane. So again, the odds of actually hitting that block is next to zero, but so is the chance of winning the lottery. It's next to zero. So that's what we got here. So let's set this thing up and see what we got for some power consumption. All right, so I did bring in a power bar here for 120 volt, and the way it's situated, obviously we're a little bit upside down on our power meter, but we got it all plugged in. And again, this power bar is going into this guy right here, which is then going into here, because you always want to keep track of everything on 120 volt as well, because even though, you know, you got your switches and everything else going on, that all counts as power that the power company is going to charge you. So I always keep track of all the power I'm using when it comes to crypto mining. All right, so once you do get everything running on the BitAxe here, then you gotta log into its Wi-Fi. So you can use a laptop, PC, most likely you'll be using your phone. You just gotta find the network labeled BitAxe here. So I'll just try to find mine right quick. Let me turn off my light so it doesn't shine and mess it up. But here you can kind of see if it'll focus there, right there. BitAxe 86DD is the one you are looking for. So turning my light back on so we can see our BitAxe a little better. And there we go. So you just log into that and input all your parameters. All right, so once it's running by default, the screen up here should be swapping over and it should give you an IP to log into. Now mine did not do that. It just stays where it's staying, not moving. So maybe you got to reseat the screen or something. But I did find the default for most BitAxes. So that IP coming into my phone here, we'll see down at the bottom, right, if it focuses, 192.168.4.1. That should be the default IP for most of them. I did a bunch of Google searching trying to find that, and now I am inside of the Axe OS. All right, so once you finally get all that done, then you can actually log in on your local network to do all the settings and stuff. So now we're going to come into our pool settings here, and you can see everything that is in here by default. So I'm just going to put everything to solo CK pool. So I'm going to copy this, paste that into here, change that out. Stratum, I'm not sure what we need. I think 3333 for our Stratum port there. And then we need our BTC address. So our user here is going to go, I'm going to come back to here. I'm just going to use where I currently have my previous miner here, which is, I guess, the big Canaan Avalon 212 terahash monster. It's currently at terahashes. They're moving containers, so it's been off for a week, but it should be online once they get everything over to their new location. So I can't wait for that. So anyway, we're going to be using, obviously, putting everything in the same place here. So I'm coming into the Axe OS here, put in my Bitcoin address, and I'm going to call this one Power Mining 601, or Power Mining Gamma, maybe. Power Mining Gamma. That way I know where this came from and all this stuff. And then we got solo CK pool here again. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it in. I don't usually use, too many backup pools or anything, so I'm just going to put that in right there as well. And fallback password, I think all we need is an X here. Same for the one up here, just hit an X. That should be good to go. So I'm just going to save that right now, and then we're going to hit the restart button, and now we're going to wait for everything to load up and see if we are detected at the pool. So coming into CK pool itself here, which is supposedly the best solo pool. This is where we find, or at least hear about, all them solo blocks that get found by lucky miners. So anyway, scrolling down here, coming in, you put your Bitcoin address in this slot right here, and that will bring you to this. So it does look like we are detected, as our hash rate over the last 1 minute is 1.3 terahash. Past 5 minutes, obviously not too much at 705 gigahash, and then 1 hour and so on, it's less. But we are detected. Here we can see our address followed by that name, Power Mining Gamma. Now coming into CK stats, which is CK pool, but you can have a nice graphical interface of seeing everything. It's not yet detected. It takes quite a bit longer to be detected here. So it will be detected eventually. But coming in, if you want to get into that, everything is straight at its main dashboard here. Just click on the solostats.ckpool.org, and that is for your graphical statistics. So coming into the basic stats, though, we are detected. We are mining ourselves some Bitcoin solo. It is now all up and running and working as intended. All right, so now that we know we are hashing, we can see everything detected on our little board here. How much power are we using? And coming into our upside down power meter, it is looking like 24.1 watts. Let's just flip the camera so you can see that a little better. There we go. So I don't know if that actually made it top right or not, but yeah, we're about 24.1 watts happening down here. So that's actually not too bad. Very efficient miner here for a little over 1 terahash. So there we go, guys. 24 watts. That is not going to make you go bankrupt from constantly running this thing. It's essentially, if you're running LED light bulbs, that's like 2 light bulbs, depending on the light bulbs you're running. Maybe 1.5. You're not going to really notice this on your power bill. And it has a chance to hit a block every 10 minutes. But I do have to state the actual odds of finding a Bitcoin block, especially with one of these little guys, is next to nothing. So it's obviously a gamble, guys. You know, chance that it's never going to happen. But you know what? Just having one is a chance. So again, guys, thank you to Power Mining for sending this out. Hopefully I get to check out that nerd axe that they were talking about, which I originally thought this was. Turned out it's not. But I am excited to try that one out. So hopefully it ends up coming. Links down in the description if you're looking for these solo miners. Anything from Power Mining. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.